All right, welcome back to the action here in Summers Gymnasium. 9:10 to go. 38-14 our score. Platypi put 2 points on the board while we're gone. And Helms, during the break we were talking about a comment you made earlier and something that maybe you just want to make a retraction on concerning one of the players on the red team.
You know, that's true. Well, me and Ben Ferrante do have our differences. He's not a bad guy. I don't want to give that impression at all. Also, my lawyer is telling me that I could possibly get sued for that statement, and I really have no money because, as I just found out, we actually paid for that food tonight out of our own pocket.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when you just find that out. And, yeah, well, you know, we enjoyed it nonetheless, and some of us spent a little more money than others. But a year ago, almost to the date, I spent about $80 at a restaurant on really good steak. So I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
No, you're not, and neither am I. No. About anyone or anything. Just making that clear.
Good, good, good. So we're on pleasant terms with Ben Ferrante, although Greg Creswell may try and kill us along with David Corwin. The two may try and team up.
You know, David Corwin's tried to kill me a few times before, and so far he hasn't actually gone through with it, so I'm going to say we'll probably be good. I mean, he's probably going to go back to the dorm and fall asleep. I mean, he's eaten a lot tonight. He probably needs to get in bed. When he wakes up in the morning, I'm sure he'll be in a much better mood.
And yes, we'll hope so, although Corwin's not a morning person. 37-16, our score is 7:45 to play. And, all right, like we said, Platypi aren't going to come back in this one. Obviously not going to have a good game. They're going to need to regroup quickly as they have a game tomorrow night. And then the big game, biggest game of the season, on Thursday. As we've talked about, all these games can be considered a build-up to the tournament. In this case, the play-in game of the tournament. Drew with the ball passes it. You know, I'd like to see Drew. Whoa, nice foul there by Drew. We can contribute to the fact, one, he didn't have his glasses, or two, he is fed up with getting run over like that.
And it could be a combination of both, you know.
Or he could be mad that he didn't get steak tonight. We apologize to Drew, again.
You can't please everyone.
Absolutely not. We did please our waitress tonight, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say that we did tip her 32%, which
and
was
that's a lot of percent.
That was a lot when you have 7 people eating at Longhorns.
Yes.
32%. We were very generous with that. Again, our own money, let me
Of course our own money. Actually, I just reached into my pocket and noticed that most of my money is gone, and that's where it went.
Well,
I just realized that I had a $12 overdraft in my bank account.
Hey, well, that's
like $300 for that.
That's not good.
That's not a good feeling there. You know,
that's right. Jonathan Neal's still with us. If you are just joining us and don't recognize the voice,
that would be the voice of Jonathan Neal,
former Platypi player, last season and the first, excuse me again, the first game of this season.
So, you know, what is a good feeling is the feeling that we're going to have Thursday, which is day of prayer, meaning no classes.
Hey, you know, surprisingly, I just found out about that. We've been getting accustomed to something this semester called surprise prayer, actually last semester too, surprise prayer. And this is kind of a surprise day of prayer, so it's a culmination of, you know, a couple chapels where we were just all of a sudden found ourselves praying. So, not a bad thing, not a bad thing. And one thing is good, they are reinstituting the... It's not 24-hour prayer, but we're easing ourselves back into it. About 12-hour prayer, not prayer, excuse me, scripture reading, Bible reading. Thank you, Neil. So they used to have both. They cut them both out last semester, and now we're kind of getting back into things, which is good. I like that.
But it's one of those projects that just makes day of prayer really what it's supposed to be and helps you keep your focus on it.
Absolutely. 5:22 to play, 39-18 our score. And Corwin got his hands up there, but it was after the fact. It was to catch the ball. Corwin needs to try and bat those down if he can.
You know, I have noticed something interesting about both of these teams. They tend to not obey the 3-second rule. It's turning into more like a 32-second rule.
And it's true. And you know, as we've talked about, it's not really something. It's something that they can try and hopefully take advantage of. And when it comes to timing and stuff like that, the refs give a lot of leeway. As we've said before, we know we're not professionals here. And, you know, it makes for a little more, hopefully a more relaxed atmosphere, but we'll see.
That's true. You know something about the refs tonight, you'll notice that
Greg Creswell misses. I think David Corwin's outscoring Greg Creswell 2-0 in this game, which is pretty impressive. 41-18. Battle of the Cashiers. And a foul there. You know, Helms, let me say this. We're talking about going to Longhorns. When you eat a meal like that, you appreciate burping a lot more. I think for 2 reasons. 1, it relieves a lot of pressure. 2, it reminds you what a great meal you had.
That's true.
One thing that's not a good reminder of what you did the night before, hangovers. Wink, wink.
You know, speaking of Hangover, that's a really good movie.
It was a very good movie. We are anxiously awaiting the release of the Hangover 2 trailer, due for release, I believe, around Memorial Day.
That's true. You know,
in May.
whoever's working on
May.
this thing, if you could find some way to release that early so we could all go watch it together, that'd be great.
You know, some trailers are already out for July of next year, so I think it's
true.
next year. So, you know, you could get that one out. There's a lot of excitement, I think, surrounding that movie. 3:45 to play, 41-18 in favor of the red team, and, you know, it's just it's something we look forward to. That was a very popular movie on the Hall.
That is, you know, something
Someone
else.
put him on the team. Well, he is on the team. That's why he's the ref for that game. Nice 3 there. Obviously uncontested. Take a timeout here. We're going to keep it right here because we can.
Yeah, we can. But Gritton, while we're in this timeout, what are you going to do with your time off during Day of Prayer?
You know, I honestly haven't thought about it. I do have some tests coming up the next week that I could try and start. I probably won't start before then, so I could do that. I'm also going to be help recording for the LHM band, which we talked about briefly a little bit. They have a couple more songs they're ready to record, and they've improved their equipment, so I'm really looking forward to that.
You know, that's a band that I'm really keeping my eye on. They're an upstart band, but they've got a lot of raw talent and a lot of energy, and I really feel like they could go places with the right people behind.
You know, they're speaking of going places, their first single, Freudian Trip, which is debuted on our YouTube channel, up to 93 views. We're on the century watch, really. We're very close.
Not to mention, they just received a new public relations guy that I heard about.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
should get them some great spots.
And we have, well, a special guest just joining in the booth, Platypi Drew Pilgrim, current member of the Platypi. You saw him on the court earlier. Drew, welcome.
It looks weird from up here.
Yes, it does. We are, it looks weird to us, too. Our first time up here broadcasting for a game. We prefer to say, nice play there by Starkey. Corwin going for another 2. Oh, Corwin gets another chance. Oh! And Steve, there's an, all right, Steve, all right, good for you. Go get him. Drew, obviously a lot more energy than some of the players who ate at Longhorns.
That's true.
And a lot more clear in the head, wink wink, but that's okay. We're going to see, he's going to try and foul someone. He better hurry, he's got 3 minutes to do it, 41-20 our score. Another third chance point there by the Platypi. They've been good on those tonight. Corin missing the first 2, they're able to get the rebounds. Offensive rebound there for the red team. Again, the red team, a very good team. Unfortunately for the Platypi, not as strong a showing against they had against the Betts team. But tomorrow, I'm not sure who they're playing tomorrow. I'm going to assume it's a team they haven't played yet. But judging by the standings right now, and don't quote me on this, but they could be playing on Thursday for the play-in game, the Silent Knights, which they have played before. I'm sure you remember that game. I think that may have been our first broadcast.
You know, I think that was. I think that was also our only broadcast recorded in Summers Gymnasium before tonight.
That's a good point. I think it might have been.
Thursday night, of course, hoping to have former Governor Schwarzenegger with us.
Yes. And, you know, I'd be pretty disappointed if he can't make it. But, you know, we'll do our best.
That's all anybody can ask of us. Especially since we're not getting paid.
Right.
You guys aren't getting paid?
No,
we're not getting paid. Actually, you're not getting paid either.
Unfortunately.
Somebody did tell you that, right?
No, they didn't, but that's okay. I'll figure out another way to do with my overdraft.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Oh, thank you very much.
$12 can hurt, especially if it's 12 individual purchases, because then they hit you each time. Steal there with 1:30 to play. Half the players aren't even bothering to run down the court. Kind of tells you a lot about where we stand in this one. 43-20 our score, 1:25 to play.
You know what might have happened with that last game where the Platypi were playing the best team is sometimes you can go up against a team like that, and because of their level of play, your level of play is elevated. Or it could just be the stake.
Corwin. Oh, misses another 2 there. Steve, second chance, gets it in. Steve's great on those. He positions himself wonderfully underneath the basket. When Corwin misses, he's there for that second or even third chance.
Steve bailing them out, kind of like the government and GM.
Yes. 43-20 our score. And you know, thinking 43-20, and speaking of second and third chance points, I think at least half of our points have come off those, which is a good sign. Although when you have 20, it's not really a good sign, but...
That's not a good sign.
As we Well, we're going to have to go to a break here. We'll be right back.